Would you wait for me? Would you wait for me? Would you wait for me? Would you wait for me?
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition of Saturday Night Rocket League. We're back in the booth here for the conclusion of the play-in tournament tonight. We got three banger matchups coming your way. Winner go home continues on once again. I'm Rockerman, excited to be back in the booth, joined by the good old Speed Demon. Speed, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. I was just telling you, it would be nice to be playing tonight, but Ember got the better hand of us on Wednesday, so here they are fighting to stay alive up against this tough Minotaurs team. It should definitely be a great matchup right here.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be a great start to the night. I can't wait to see how this one turns out. Before we dive too deep into it, got a couple of quick shout outs to give. Shout out to Alpaca coming back for 7 months, Dr. Shadow for the 11, and then Silver J coming back for 18 months. Appreciate the hype, appreciate the support on the channel tonight from you guys. So Speed, yeah, let's get into this thing. Let's kind of before we officially start the matchup, let's set the stage here. I'm going to bring up the playoff bracket from the Prospect League here. What can you tell us about what's happened so far and what's to come?
Yeah, so the two teams we got tonight, I already mentioned Ember and Minotaurs. Ember coming off of a huge sweep against my Rooks team. I know they looked very dominant in that one. And then the Minotaurs getting here, getting their second life. The only second life we see in the postseason is in that 7-8 matchup where they did lose to the Wyverns, who looked really well. Not to say that the Minotaurs didn't look well, but that Wyverns team definitely kicked it up knowing that it was playoffs time. I do expect to see the Minotaurs putting up a little bit bigger of a fight in this one, but you know, Gladiators is what these two teams have looking down at them. Whoever can come out of a win tonight, the undefeated Gladiators at the 1 seed. So, you may squeak out one here, but you got another major matchup coming ahead of you in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, you do. And for these guys, they are not even looking at that point. They're looking at the task at hand, and hopefully, for both their sakes, they can provide us with some good content tonight here. And Speed. Well, let's do one more thing before we get into prediction. What are you looking forward to most out of out of this matchup tonight? Who do you got to watch out for on both sides?
Uh, Both sides. I'm gonna start off here with Ember. It's a two-headed monster here on Ember. I think it's how well Brindy and Izzachad play together. The two have always played together. They've been best friends forever. They're a two-headed monster. They're one and the same person. So it's how well they can click going up against Help, or I know him as Zeke, um, here on the Minotaurs. It's going to be the battle of those three players, but looking at those two aspects of those two teams. And I'm gonna have to put my money down on here. We just played them Ember. They steamrolled us. They looked really good. I think they got the momentum coming off of a win versus the Minotaurs, who just did come off of a loss. I think um, this Ember team is just gonna be a little too hot to be able to beat.
Alrighty, well, last chance for everyone to get your predictions in here as we are about to get things underway here for the play-in tournament. We have got Minotaurs taking on Ember. The winner is moving on. The loser is heading home, and we're already started off here as the Minotaurs. They're in the white, gonna make a big save right there. We got Blitz, Dill, and Help, and then Ember. We got Brindy, Izzachad, and Peanut, and a lot of great players here in this one to try to finish things off here, Speed Demon. And you mentioned it. This is one of these matches again. Both these teams now with a little bit of that postseason experience, so maybe a little less nerves under the belts of both these two teams.
Yeah, nerves is a huge thing. You come into playoffs, and especially this play-in tournament, right? It's not quite the playoffs. You're still only playing best of 5, which doesn't really give you any room for errors or mistakes. So having both played one, they know what it takes to get it done. They know the nerves coming out of it, and they just got one more game before it can kind of relax a little bit. If you make one game, have one bad game in a series, it's only 1 out of the 4 that you can afford to lose. So it's definitely helpful that they got the nerves out of the way already.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there's any nerves that'll play a factor in this one. And yeah, like you mentioned, the Minotaurs unfortunately coming off a loss to the Wyverns on Monday, and Ember coming off that big sweep on Wednesday. So a little different routes to get here. But both these teams find themselves here now, looking to advance. As this one, nice little pass across the midfield, can be blocked away. we're about a minute and a half in so far, and speed, something I'm seeing out of both these two teams, which is pretty impressive for the Prospect League, is these guys are finding their passing plays. I say that as they cut each other off, but they have found a couple of good passing plays so far, I feel like.
Yeah, they definitely have the team chemistry going. Both teams here, as Minotaur's looking to get that one, but Dill's unable to get the Doomsday going. But yeah, the passing plays, they have a lot of chemistry, both of these teams with all three players. So I definitely expect there to be a lot of passes. Dill looking for the double here, unable to connect. Help off the backward, looking for his own double, not able to. But yeah, Rockerman, passes is going to be huge here. I expect the pace of play to pick up here. It's been a little slow, but they're getting the passes down. But I'm expecting the pace of play just to pick up in general. They started off a little slow, feeling each other out here.
Yeah, they have started off a little bit slow, but found a couple of plays so far. Both of them still looking for their first goal here. This one could be an opportunity. Pina trying to drop it down, but a great save comes through by Help. Able to push that one away as we still stay at a scoreless game number 1. This winner go home matchup. Peanut gonna bang this one down. Help. Gonna find a touch across, looking for Dill. Dill can't connect. Is a Chad. Take it up to the side. Gonna find some control here, trying to send it in. Throws it off the backboard. Minotaurs gonna block that one away. Dill trying to get that touch, but didn't quite get it out there. It's gonna be blocked up in midfield. He's a Chad. Gonna take it over the top of Blitz. Could be an opportunity, but Dill all over that one. As this one's still hanging in midfield, unable to connect his help. Dill gonna send it off to the side here as Blitz now looking up. This one off the ceiling is a Chad trying to find another touch. Help. Gonna drop it down towards the net, but Brindy is gonna make a nice save here. Able to block that one away. This one could be a dangerous ball. Midpress have to race back to it. Blitz is gonna find the touch, able to get it away, and still speed. A minute and a half remaining. Both these teams still tied and 0-0 as this one's fared across the net.
0-0, still a minute and a half in. Both of these teams are great teams. And Dill, right after you say that, Rockerman, is going to put the Minotaurs up 1 with a beautiful pass here by Help. Just sneaking it by, and Peanut unable to make that read. It looked like it was going to roll all the way across the backboard, and it accidentally popped out, and he was not expecting that one.
Yeah, a great read by Dill right there. Able to beat the backboard defense and throw it across the field there. And that one gonna find the back of the net. So a great start there for the Minotaurs, as they unfortunately lost the season series here. Speed. That is the other thing that's kind of interesting about this matchup, is these two are division rivals. So they've played twice already this season. Ember winning 3-2 and 3-1. So you know Minotaurs, they want to get the give back. They don't want to get beat 3 times.
They do not, and Help is going to give themselves a 2-0 lead late here in game number 1. They said, you may have beat us twice in the regular season, but it's playoff time, baby. We're out here, we're trying to win, we're trying to move on to the next round, and we're trying to end your season.
Yeah, they are trying to end the season and trying to take the lead in this season series and move on. This season's, their all-time series is tied at 7-7, and this one pretty fired on net is the Chad, though, striking back with only 50 seconds remaining.
Nemesis veteran right there. You know, composure is what that leads down to. Is it Chad not scared being down 2 late in the game, willing to do what it takes, slow the play down a little bit, and just fire one into the open net, giving them a little life here. Still plenty of time, Rockerman. 50 seconds left, 2-1. They got a little momentum now. Stop the 2-0 bleed, and I'm excited to see how this one's gonna end.
Yeah, 40 seconds. It might just end with Dill putting another one in the net. A great answer back from him, and Minotaurs regain their 2-goal lead.
Floodgates are open, baby. They felt each other out, and now they are finding the holes. They are finding each other, and both teams now are really looking good. And I'm really excited about how this series is gonna go. Ember, I'm really expecting them to get one more and really make this a 1-goal game at least by the end of this 35 seconds.
They're going to try to find one quickly. They're going to want to force into OT in game 1. This ball off to the side. Awkward ball is Chad. Can't quite connect with that one. Peanut going to be over the top of 2. This ball floating. Trying to find another touch. Looking for a bump maybe. This one going to float up high. Is Chad. Got to win to this one. He does. He's going to send it in. And 19 seconds remaining. Ember find themselves down 1.
Almost like I just know these two teams. I know the caliber players. I know where their mindsets are at. And that, you know, they don't let pressure scare them too often. Any of these guys on this pitch, I've played with a lot of them through Nemesis, through other leagues, and you know they're always playoff caliber players. They know what's at stake here, but
Oh,
it's just gonna be a back and forth here for the last minute, Rockman, as Minotaurs are holding on to this 2-0 lead that they originally built.
yeah, and Blitz just flipping at that one, and Peanut, he was trying to poke it around Blitz, but Blitz was not to be denied. Able to send it in, and now with only 15 seconds remaining, the Minotaurs looking to hold on to this one, but if Minotaurs can score quickly, maybe Ember can find two as well. This one dropped off to the side, now pushed down to the midfield, looking for a pinch maybe, as this one can be sent up and sent towards the net, but that one going to be saved away, and that is going to do it there for game number one. It is going to go in the hands of the 8th seeded Minotaurs there, Speed, who had some great answers in this one. Able to bring it back. His help is trying to find one more towards the net. Not going to go, but they are going to hold on and get the win.
Yes, they are, and you know, like I had mentioned early in this game, it started off pretty slow, just kind of just overall slow pace. They were feeling each other out. They were looking for those passes, trying to see how the other team was going to react to those passes, and then you saw the pace of the game just immensely pick up. And when that happened, you're able to start breaking down your opponent a little more. You're able to, you know, to force these openings up, and floodgates open. 6 goals in the last minute 29, I believe, is roughly when the first goal was scored. So, you know, if that's how they're gonna play in a full game now from here on out, I'm expecting some high scoring thrillers back and forth just like this, and this is gonna be a really big series.
Yeah, it is a great start for both these teams. Really, both teams coming out with 8 shots. So the offenses were there. The Minotaurs just got the better of Ember in that game number one. So Speed, as we push into Urban Central here for game number two, what are you looking for out of this Ember squad to find that answer and tie the series up?
Yeah, I think Ember really needs to just put their foot on the gas a little sooner. You know, keep looking for those team plays. I think Brindy and Izichad need to connect more. They got really good synergy, energy together. So I'm really expecting them to be the two to make a lot of team plays. And then Peanut, I think Peanut needs to go for a little more solo plays and break up that team play so that they're not always expecting team passing plays. Because Peanut's a really good Mickey solo player.
We'll have to see if they can find something here. This one's popped up. Here comes Peanut. Oh my goodness, trying to fire it in, but it's just off the post. He almost found that one in, but he is going to find a bump and going to leave it off for Brindy, who's going to be erased as well. This was an opportunity. Here comes Izichad with a flick, shooting it towards the net. It's off the backboard, but no one quite able to follow it. And right now, Ember starting out with some good offensive pressure early. This one sent back in by Dill. Izichad gonna find a one-touch blitz on that one. It's towards the net. Brindy, he's flipping, he's bumped. This one though is gonna be shot in by Help. He puts it in, and the Minotaurs strike first.
That's honestly super unfortunate here for Ember, as Brindy dodging that demo from Dill, still able to stay in the position, make the save, and just wasn't able to recover, and Izichad wasn't able to get back enough to be able to make that second save. But that initial save right there, that effort by Brindy is what Ember needs here to stay alive. And I know they still let up a goal, but you know, you can just see the fire in their eyes of how bad they want it. And you know, they may have let up one here, Rockerman, but you know, they're definitely not out, as we can see from that first game fighting back.
Yeah, they're not out of it quite yet here, as they find themselves down 1-0 in the series and 1-0 in this game number two, but a long way to go. 3:30 in this game number two, as Peanut can help push this ball down. Help taking control, grabbing that boost. Peanut is trying to get in the way, but Help gonna send this one up. Dill try to find that block. Ember gonna keep it in as some bumps coming through. Blitz loses the ball, but able to find that 50. It's gonna be blocked in and kept by Peanut. Brindy now off the corner. Help gonna find that touch. Here comes Izichad, trying to take it up, looking for a teammate, but Blitz on top of that one. This one still could be floating towards the net. Could be dangerous, but Help is able to get back. Brindy with a nice little passive like shot attempt there. That was the connection we were looking for, just not quite on target this time. As Ember starting to get some more sustained pressure. Here comes Brindy. What can he do? Off the backboard, looking for something. Not a lot of boost though to work with. It's gonna be sent down. Here comes Peanut, throwing it off the backboard. Dill trying to get up to it. Peanut actually gonna find that touch again there. Maybe baiting out his teammate just a little bit, as they're gonna find a demo. And we're approaching halfway here in this one. A nice little flip reset. Gonna push it across, but Minotaur's Speed still holding on to that 1-goal lead.
Yeah, I think what I noticed here is you saw that the demo come out there from Izzachad, and I really think that that's what they need to do more. That's how they got us. They got us uncomfortable. They bumped us a lot. Didn't get a lot of demos, but they were just constantly bumping us coming from behind. And I think they need to try to implement that a little more, especially on that play where Peanut went for that double. I would have loved to see him leave that for, I believe, Izzachad, who was coming on, and him go for that guy that was just sitting duck in net, and go for that bump and let Izzachad just put it on an empty net.
Yeah, this one could be shot on the net. On the other side, Health is going to put in another one, and it's 2-0 now in favor of the Minotaurs.
Yeah, and that's just a great shot right there by Help, right under the crossbar. You know, 65 miles per hour. That's pretty strong, hard shot. And Brindy not having no momentum, trying to just get up to that, and that's a very hard shot to save.
And that power was very impressive there, and it's a 2-0 lead now for the Minotaurs as they're looking to go up 2-0 in the series as well here as a demo come through. Another one traded on the other side there by the Minotaurs, able to send this one down, but it's going to find the backboard here as Peanut is going to clear this one out. Not a lot of boost help and take control of this one up high, looking for something, finding one more touch ball in the midfield. Dill off the backboard, looking for the double tap. Oh, he puts it down, he puts it in. Oh my goodness, Dill.
Dill, the man of the hour right now. We saw him miss a double tap earlier. This is almost the exact same placement, and he was able to put this one away. Beautiful shot there. Minotaurs, hungry, thirsty, up 3-0 here in game number 2, trying to solidify that 2-0 lead and be on match point.
Oh, is this one? It could be a big mistake, but Peanut can't quite put it in. The Minotaurs are lucky to get away with that one, but they do have some breathing room as Dill is up. Oh my goodness, they're trying some style plays on him right here. Speed is, my goodness. And well, if that tells you something about these two teams, the Minotaurs are most definitely feeling themselves right now as here comes Help put another one home.
Now, Help gets the goal here, but that passing play that could have been from Help to Dill trying to hit back to front of Help's car, that would have been insane. And that would have honestly killed the vibes of Ember. I know they're down 4-0 right now, and they still let in another goal, but I think that would have been, a huge demoralizer to let up a huge passing play like that. They're still in it. They got to be disruptive, like I said earlier. They got to get some bumps in. They got to take control of this, and they got to work together. They're kind of doubling a little bit on defensive end, and it's not their typical play style, so it's kind of weird to see, but they definitely have what it takes, and they're a team that could easily put off a reverse sweep.
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned, these guys won earlier both times in the regular season. Did Ember. First one 3-1 way early in the season, and then just in the last 2 weeks of the regular season, they won in game 5. But the Minotaurs, like you mentioned, they are back with a vengeance against their division rival, trying to close it out. But this one is an open net, and the momentum could be found there as Peanut is going to send it in.
Great momentum here. End of game number 2. Get a goal back, get a little momentum, feel good about yourself. Still got plenty of Rocket League left. You just got to play one game at a time from here on out with the momentum. The biggest question is going into this game 3, Rocket Man, is are they going to make a change?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Will there be a change with either the roster or with their play style here? Is they're looking for one more. Not quite going to find it, though. But yes, Speed, it's all on Ember at this point. Minotaurs are playing exquisitely so far. A 4-1 victory there with a big performance there from Help with the hat trick. And yes, Speed, it looks like we're seeing one person leave the lobby here. But what do you need to see here now? Again, it's on Ember to try to pull back what is a improbable attempt, but we have seen it already in the play-in tournament. Get that reverse sweep.
Yeah. I think they need to be disruptive. I think they kind of need to play. I don't know. One thing I worked on my team with is playing slow and smooth is like playing fast. So I think they need to just take a deep breath. They really need to focus on what's the task at hand is, and they need to try to disrupt this Minotaur's offense. We see as the Chad did leave, he did come back, and Brindy left. So we're waiting to see who's going to be, the third man coming back in for Ember. I know they have Sea-Wink sitting on the bench, who is, a very high caliber player as well. So very interesting to see what they're gonna pull out here for this lineup.
Yeah, no, it is going to be interesting as we're going to have to see, but yeah, it is a possibility. That is the nice thing about the four-man rosters. Like you mentioned, you got C-Wink, the highest MR player. He's available, and we've seen him perform as well at times. So, Speed, that's probably what they're discussing over here is who they want to put in. Do you stick with that roster, or do you try to make a change? And I know we've seen it, like I mentioned, we've seen reverse sweeps before. We saw Venom, who we'll see in the next matchup, pull off the reverse sweep on Wednesday. But we've seen it happen before in the play-in tournament and in best of fives before. Sometimes that's all you need is just switch one player in the roster, and all of a sudden things start clicking for you.
Yeah, I think they really just need to take it, one play at a time. Forget forget the semantics at this point, right? Pretend it's another Rocket League game. We see teams all the time in the regular season. They pull off reverse sweeps. Now, what makes it so rare in the playoffs is because of how much is at stake, and teams, I think they try to do too much. So I think they just need to just play Rocket League. It's just a game at the end of the day. I think they need to take the semantics out of it, and I think they'll be just fine. This team's a great team. We saw how dominant they were on Wednesday. um, you know they took my Rooks team, who was 0-7 to start, and won 7 out of the last 10 games of the season, and really turned the season around, and they made us look silly. So
Ah,
they have what it takes. They've already beat this team twice this year with this same exact rosters too, because like you said, they're divisional rivals. They just played each other in the last 2 weeks after roster locks had already happened. So they have what it takes. They just got to figure it out. And I don't know what's going on here. Still waiting on one player from Ember to show up.
yeah, it looks like we're just waiting on them. But yeah, they do have a couple minutes to try to find that player. And I thought it was just going to be a quick roster swap, but maybe it's something else in regards to Ember. But they do have that 7-minute window there to try to make something happen. So we'll have to see. Looks like he is coming back. Looks like it might have been an actually a connection thing. So and it does look like, looking at things, it does look like C-Wink is unavailable tonight. So they're going to be rocking with these three for the rest of the way. So Speed, they're sticking. They're going to stick with it, and they're going to have to try to take it back one game at a time.
Yep, they're sticking with it. I know they can do it. I didn't, knowing Brindy and knowing how well they played the other day, I didn't think they would bring in C-Link, even though he is a top player. He's still new to their roster. They kind of had that MMR space. They picked him up, so they had it fourth in case there was any issues. I know C-Link's schedule's a little crazy this year. He's off trying to be a firefighter and make a change in the world. So
Respect.
hats off to him. But yeah, Ember, I think really they have what it takes. Minotaurs, they can't let Ember get under their skin. I feel like Ember's gonna come out. They're really gonna try to be disruptive, get bump heavy, get in their face, get in their way. So Minotaurs, they just have to play the game they've been playing, and they'll be fine. And Ember needs to just gas on the pedal, play smooth, play smart, and forget about the semantics. And I think we'll see a really close game here.
Well, we're gonna have to see. The hopes are on the line here for Ember now, as it is win or go home here. If they cannot win the next games, as oh my goodness, Peanut is gonna take it down, and he's gonna take it in, and well, that is one way to come back here in game 3.
There it is. That's what they needed. They needed a fresh, good early start. They got a little extra break there with the DC, and maybe that helped their, momentum, able to calm down, just like I said, and early, 8 seconds, get that. Now they just got to keep their foot on the pedal and keep it rolling.
Yeah, they do. That was a great start there. Peanut coming in, looking to put that one in, but a little bit awkward right here is this one. Throw it to the backboard. Here comes Peanut, and oh my goodness, Peanut. He is 2 for 2, sending it home.
This is the Ember that we saw on Wednesday. They're back. Whatever Brindy did to fix his internet or internet crash, and he fixed it, I don't know, but it's working. And they're out for revenge here. They said, you got 2. We already have your number. We beat you twice this season, and we're not going to give up easy. They're going to come out firing just like we expected, and this is turning to be a great series, a great game. And, Minotaurs now have to find a way to be able to counteract and, slow down the pace of game and not let Ember take control before this gets out of hand, because this could easily flip the other way like the Minotaurs had it in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, we saw how Ember performed on Wednesday with their backs against the wall, pulling off that sweep. So they have the potential to win 3 games against other top contenders in a row here, and we'll have to see if they can do it as they're sending it in. This one a little bit awkward. Help gonna take control. Good control, but the ball is still floating up. Brindy has an opportunity. It's out the backward. Here comes the follow, but Dale with a great touch. Able to clear that one away as he's a Chad. Waits back there, but he can't find the touch. That one awkward. Shooting it towards it, but Peanut is gonna make the save. Here comes Help now. Looking to fire it in, but Peanut, he's gonna clear it out, but only so far as midfield. Here comes Dale again, throwing it out the backward, forcing these tough saves again and again as Minotaurs. A little bit of a double commit. Brindy is gonna send it down, trying to push it through. Not quite gonna find it. That one is a Chad gonna get it out, but Ember there on the defensive end that time. Speed able to lock things down.
Locking it down, looking 100% different than they did in that game number 2. They kind of looked a little off on offense and defense, but they're figuring out. Here comes out a big demo from Chad, but there was 2 guys there, and the other one's still able to get it. But they're looking really good here. They're playing on all cylinders. Minotaurs have had their opportunities as well, and you know they're looking good. But you know this Ember team, they're really coming out. As Brendy's gonna put that one just wide, as Peanut was also going for that demo on that goalie and unable to collide there. And you know we're almost halfway through this game. We got 3 minutes left, Rocker Man, and this is getting really exciting.
Yeah, and Ember holding on to that lead here, trying to force us to that game 4, get us to that Forbidden Temple, where we know anything can happen on that map. Seen it time and time again throughout the years. As this one is banging down, Help gonna look, take control, trying to find Blitz up there, but instead he's gonna find Peanut with a great clear, able to send it a long way, but only into the hands of a waiting Blitz. It's a Chad trying to get on that one. The ball is gonna pop up high. Peanut trying to get to it. That one shot towards that is Chad. Gonna make the touch, able to clear it out, but a big missed touch. It's going the wrong way. It's actually just gonna go right into the net. There is a Chad. Gonna lock it down, and Ember up 3-0 now.
Ember up 3-0, and it almost looks like, you know, they're kind of parking the bus a little bit here. They got that early lead. They know what's at stake. They've consistently had 2 men back, full of boost. They're playing it really smart. They know how to lock down a win. It may not be the prettiest way, but you get an early lead, you get 2 goals, and you can afford to, you know, park that bus, play extra offensive, because if they can't score, you can't lose at that point. So they got the mentality. Minotaurs just have to find a way to be able to break them down, and also not have those, you know, unfortunate mishaps where you get that, try to get that ball, keep it cleared in, and you accidentally hit it towards your own net.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show with the pressure of Ember so far, as Brindy is just going to get that one out, going to get it by Blitz actually, and take control. And yeah, when you're Ember here, who have just turned on the pressure, almost a complete 180, you know, you can force the Minotaurs into those mistakes by playing too fast. And we saw that one on the last goal, and now a minute 20 remaining here. As Ember looking to hold on. This one fired off the backboard, looking for a follow, but it's going to go off of Peanut's car and in. Blitz is going to strike back.
And see, sometimes that's all you need is, you know, you need a little luck, a little help from the other team. Blitz making the great read. It looks like he was going to get that in even without Peanut's help. It looked like that might have snagged that bottom left corner. But, you know, that right there, that's what they needed to get this comeback started. You know, only down 2, still plenty of time, minute 15 left. They just need to be able to find another one pretty soon, and it gives them a lot of, you know, wiggle room to work with. Although, you know, if they lose this game, it's not the end of the world. They're still up 2-0 in the series as of right now, so.
And with a minute remaining, Ember now, once again, like you mentioned, got to park the bus here, try to hold on to their lead, or maybe find one more to extend it. But a 2-goal lead is decently safe in Rocket League, way safer than a 1-goal lead, where someone can score with any second, or with 0 seconds on the clock as well. 2 goals, they're gonna have to at least score with a second remaining. Gives you a lot of freedom here to be aggressive, to play the ball, and to pass the ball like that, but it's denied away. As Dill is gonna get that shot, they're gonna send it down. Help is hunting for a demo here. Not quite gonna find it. This ball popped up, dangerous, but again, another great touch by the Ember defense. As this one not gonna be connected on by the Minotaurs, as Ember gonna try to get it in the final seconds, taking away. Dale trying to get to this one. He's gonna be able to get it off to his corner, but once again, must score with at least a second remaining to try to force OT. It just is a Chad versus Help. He's gonna deny it away, send it off to the side, and that is gonna do it here for this game number 3. Speed. We find Ember, who strike back here with a great win, and they're gonna send us to a game 4 on Forbidden Temple.
Yes, they are. They looked, they kind of turned it around 100% from how they had played in that game number 2. They looked really good. They looked solid. They played it smart. They weren't overcommitting, and I think they just kind of simpled down the game of Rocket League more. They were able to speed up the Minotaurs. They made a couple of mistakes. You saw that actually hurt them on one of them, the mistakes that they made. But other than that, Minotaurs didn't play bad. They just weren't expecting Ember to come out so hot, put on 2 early goals, which just kind of led them to having to put their foot on the gas. But they need to realize that this is, a marathon. It's not a race. Doesn't matter if you get the third win in game 5 or you get it in 3. They just need to be able to slow it down and really breathe here. But Ember did a great job bringing it back. Minotaurs, now they need to slow down and breathe and realize, hey, they got one. We're still in the driver's seat here. Just got to play our game.
Yeah, and I mean, they were in the driver's seat in games 1 and game 2. It looked like they had all the pressure going, but we saw that Ember squad able to battle back there in game number 3 with a pretty dominating game 3 win. And now we're gonna have to see, will it continue? Will Ember be able to find it, or will the Minotaurs be able to settle in here as they'll gonna get a little musty over the top of the defense, as Brindy is gonna set it down here, trying to find it. This one push towards net. Peanut has to make the touch for the ball floating. That one not going to be connected on. Peanut has an opportunity. He's looking for a teammate maybe, but not quite going to find it that time, as it's sent towards net here. Blitz trying to find another big dunk. We saw one earlier. Not going to see it this time, as right now the Minotaurs looking for it, and another miss here, maybe uncharacteristic from what we saw in the first couple of games here, where the Minotaurs speed, they were looking so solid, but a couple of misplays here in the last game and a half.
Yeah, especially coming out from Dill. Dill, we've seen him hit 2 flip resets now, and the flip reset, one of them being that flip reset musty almost. So to see him go up for an aerial like that and just not even really be close to it is something that we're not expecting to come out from him. And this is where I say they really just need to breathe, relax, as that one going on, and that looked a little scary as Dill left it, but Help was able to make that one cleared out. As we're minute 15 in, scoreless, both teams having good opportunities, and I think this one's going to come down to who's going to strike first.
Yeah, the pressure is always huge on that first goal. I mean, both these teams, it can be such a difference as a big demo comes through. Brindy trying to get to it, but that one almost dunked in. Brindy with a great save on the goal line, able to clear it away. But that first goal, like you mentioned, it can mean so much for both these teams. The Minotaurs can kind of right the ship, if you will, here with a goal. They take back control, and Ember can keep things rolling, but this one opportunity could be flung off the crossbar again. And Minotaurs, they're trying everything. They're swinging, they're firing. It's off again, but Dill comes back around and puts it home.
Dill made up for his mistake. He fires an open net just high off the crossbar, and again, Dill, the Mechie one, coming out, hitting his second double tap, giving the Minotaurs the lead 2 minutes into this game. And they have to feel good after that one. It feels good. They're in the driver's seat. Got on match point here, Rocker Man. And now gonna put Ember back on their back foot, as we've seen them maybe have the little nerves come out already, as both Izzachad and Brindy with soft Mitch whiffs. But Izzachad gonna bounce back here and tie this one back up.
Yeah, another big miss here. Blitz trying to get up to that ball, but he can't. It is a Chad. Is just going to send it in, and Ember, it will not be denied quite yet. Their season, their hopes on the line, going to find their first goal of game number 4, and we're back at an even ball game. 1-1 here. Minotaurs win. They'll move on to face the undefeated Gladiators next week in the first round of the playoffs. Ember looking to try to meet that fate, but they're gonna need another win here in game 4 to try to force that game 5, pull off this reverse sweep. Brindy is gonna send it down. Dill out in the midfield. Izzachad gonna find a big 50. This ball rolling in the corner. Izzachad be blocked away by Help. Help on this one. Gonna flick it by Brindy. Peanut diving on this one. Gonna get it over the top of 1, maybe over the top of 2. He's trying to send it in here. Dill gonna find a touch, but here comes Brindy. Gonna be denied away. Izzachad has to get up to that one. Able to keep it in. He's trying to keep the pressure on. Dropping it down. Here comes Brindy. Looking for his dynamic duo there, but not quite going to get that one on the net here. That time is Help. Going to pop this one up high. Here comes Dill. No one from Ember quite ready for that one. Dill into the corner. Peanut finds a touch. Help pushing this one towards the backboard, but Chad is there. Good defense by him. Able to clear that one out. Send right back in here. This ball popping up high. Dangerous ball pushed out in the midfield. Chad on that one. It's flinging across. Here comes Blitz with the opportunity, but not able to get it down on target there. That's another demo. Can open up some space. Brindy gonna find a touch here. Chad trying to get up to it. He can't connect. Peanut in an awkward spot there. The ball's floated across Brindy. Trying to get it out, but a great touch is gonna clear it away. And now Dill has to make the touch. He can't find it. Here comes Peanut again. Look at the demo. He's gonna shoot it in. Bottom right. Peanut sends it in, and Ember take the lead.
Lots of back and forth right there. Both teams threatening. Both teams just skating by some shots that are just wide or just high. And then Peanut's going to slot this one in. Beautiful shot. Late in the game, minute 18 left. They're fighting back. They want to go to game 5. They know they can handle it. And, you know, Rockerman, it's all going to be right here. Peanut's really stepping up big time in this one.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Trying to see Peanut step big. We know about the dynamic duo of Brindy and Chad, but Peanut, he has stepped up big, and he wants to see some Game 5 alerts here as they're looking forward to this one sent towards the net. Here comes Peanut once more, trying to find it in, but Dill is able to get the touch, able to drop it down. The Minotaurs, they still have time to work with here to try to avoid their fate of a Game 5. And hopefully, for their sakes, send it into OT at least. If not, win in regulation help. He can't connect though. This ball is out of the midfield. Gonna be pushed down. Brindy versus Dill. Brindy trying to find the 50. Peanut was trying to get to it. That one gonna be pinched back, and Chad forced to use a lot of his boost to try to find that touch. Blitz off the corner. Double commit comes through as Dill sends that one out. Brindy trying to race to it. Only 20 seconds remaining. Minotaurs trying to find something. This ball is gonna be popped up. Help. Out of the midfield. Blitz is gonna send down Peanut. He cuts it off quickly, but that ball is dangerous. There's no one back. It's gonna be 50 away. Brindy on the goal line. He somehow saves it away as we're down in the final seconds now. Minotaurs looking to force that Game 5. They're looking to avoid the Game 5. Ember looking to force it here. Peanut throwing it off the backboard. This one just has touched the ground. Chad gonna fire it. He's gonna hit the ground, and we will head to game number 5.
Game number 5. Minotaurs, Ember. The third time they've played each other this season. Second time they're going to be going to game number 5. Minotaurs had him in the first half. Ember so far here in the second half. And this is definitely going to be one crazy of a game number 5. And I can honestly see this game being scoreless, going to overtime, or it just being a 1-0 game ending in regulation. I think both teams are going to be, you know, really smart, have some really good plays, but the defense, I think on this game, you're going to see a lot of insane defense because they know every goal matters and they're not going to even want to let up one.
Yeah, they're not going to want to let up one. And honestly, Speed, despite some of the score margin in the series, I feel like every single game, the shots have been so close. So these two teams, they have just been neck and neck all series long. Ember trying to pull off the reverse sweep. I mean, it just comes down to who's going to find this first goal, who's going to start things off well for their team.
Yeah, it really is. First goal is huge. It always is huge. You know, especially in these game 5s where, you know, your season could be over. So first goal is really important. You control the pace of the game with that first goal. It's just going to be huge. And that's why I say that I think defense is going to be really massive in this one. You're going to see some really, really good defensive plays here.
Well, we're going to have to see the game 5 here. Everything is on the line for these two teams. Ember trying to pull off the reverse sweep against their division rival. As Speed mentioned, they've bested them twice this season. Can they do it a third time in spectacular fashion? We're going to have to see. Can Minotaurs be able to bring it back? This ball off to the side, help. Sending it down towards the net, help. Trying to stay with it. Off the backboard, this ball pinching down. Not quite ready, Deal. This one drops off. There, Peanut looking to fire it, but Blitz is going to find that touch. Able to bang it away. Brindy the Blade holding on to this one. He pops it out, but here comes Dill trying to send it in. 50 can take it only so far as the corner here. Ball pinched out. Help now. Sending it in. Ember, a little bit awkward. Peanut, a little bit risky, but going to send it across his net. Able to be cleared away as Dill was trying to get to that one. Sent in. Blitz able to push it down in a minute in. Speed here. Both these teams looking for their one opportunity, trying to be perfect, trying not to make the mistake that could end your season. We may have found one.
Here it is.
Oh!
Is it Chad with the opportunity to put Ember up early in this game number 5? And I think that's where the pressure came in. But Peanut is going to put Ember up 1-0 early on here. Even after that, little mistake there by Chad, it don't matter.
Wow, and Ember really feel themselves now. And you mentioned seeing Peanut stepping up. That's who they wanted to see. And Speed, now the Minotaurs are in a very, very tough spot here. And they not only, find themselves down 1-0 in this game 5, but the momentum has just completely swung the other way.
Yeah, it really has. Momentum's huge in Rocket League. We've seen it before, and here it is. We're seeing it again. But this is one thing I think that you'll see here out of Dill, Help, and Blitz, as Dill is trying to put one on, is they don't really care about momentum. Yes, it's huge, but they're still going to come out. They're still playing hard. They're still playing like they were, early in the series. It's just Ember changed up their play style just slightly, and they still haven't able to quite figure it out yet. So, I'm interested to see in the final 3 minutes here if they're able to, really make that comeback, or is Ember just going to keep putting their foot on the gas as they are continuing to do so?
Yeah, no, Ember has definitely put the pedal to the metal here, find themselves with the lead. But the Minotaurs, they just really gotta cut down on the mistakes. There's been so many of them here. I feel like they're panicked, in my opinion here, at least in the last couple games. They gotta find something to quell the waves here and try to bring it back. This one, not gonna be the one there, Blitz with a backflip. Not gonna be able to take it anywhere you wanted to. This ball pops up. It's the Chad coming in, firing, but Dill is there on the corner, able to send it out, trying to get another touch. This one off the backboard. Blitz is going to find a touch, and right now, Minotaurs getting suffocated in their own zone, trying to find a way to break out. There you go, Help is going to get it by 2 here. It's just Brindy in there. Help trying to find a touch, going to pop it by 1. Ball is floating, but is the Chad with a great challenge, able to send it away as Dill taking to the corner, dropping this one down. Peanut going to come through, finding a touch. Is a Chad just putting the pressure on. His Blitz is going to send it away. Brindy now on this one, looking to stay with it. Brindy coming in for the dunk, but it's going to be blocked away. Another save coming through, but Speed still. The Minotaurs, they got to look for something here to try to break through in the offensive end, as they just haven't been able to get out of their zone.
No, we've seen a lot from Dill so far from the Minotaurs in this series, but I'm really haven't seen too much from Help, and I need to see something from Help. We just saw him try to get something going. He did do an air dribble all the way down to the other end of the field. Wasn't able to get that pinch middle, but Dill putting one on, but Chad making a great save, and Help putting this one middle again for his team. It's there. Dill, they're able to finish it up and ties it up with 1:12. Rocker man.
Oh my goodness, and the Minotaurs, they finally break through there. A little miss comes through, and Dill, he's made so many great shots here in this one. He sends another one in, 1-1 with 1:12 remaining. Season is on the line for both these two teams. It's win or go home here. So we're in the play-in tournament finale. Winner gets a face against the Gladiators. That's a missed touch there, but it's going to be saved away. But will this one, it's a soft shot. It's going to be punched away. A minute now left in game number 5. Who is going to make the next play in a battle of these division rivals? This ball popped up now, Blitz. It's going to set it down, Brindy. Dropping this one. Help. Going to take control, taking his time. Going to flick it by 1. Good patience there. December. They're going to find a clear back Blitz. Got to make the touch here. It's right down into Brindy. Brindy going to pop into Peanut off the corner. Can we see Chad flying through the air? He's trying to find it, but oh my goodness, Dill on the goal line. He makes a save, and now Ember, they're still trying to answer back, looking for another touch. That one is going to be cleared away. And with only 20 seconds left, we might see overtime here. This one fired across. It's going to pop out of the midfield again, Peanut. Leave that one for Brindy. Actually, Peanut gonna take control. Not a lot of boost though. Final seconds of regulation. Help is up there, firing it towards the net. Dill trying to find that redirect. As the Minotaurs looking to keep it in. Last chance here in regulation. The ball is up. Minotaurs looking to fire there, but this one is gonna be pinched down. Chad looking to find that touch, but Dill, he's actually gonna keep it up. Dill is trying to find it. Looking to fire it towards the net, but it's gonna hit the ground. And Speed overtime in game 5.
Game 5, season on the line. Season for the Minotaurs currently is on Dill's back with that huge squishy save. He's had some great plays in this one so far. We really are going to need to see him step up in this overtime. I think if Minotaurs want to see, the light of day. And here on the other side for Ember,
Peanut.
as Dill puts one on, that's the man right there that needs to, have a great overtime here is Peanut for Ember. He's really stepped up here and really turned the tides here for the Ember squad. And I think it's going to be a battle between Peanut and Dill here in this overtime.
Who is going to make that play for their team here against their rivals? And they push themselves into the playoffs. Brindy trying to get to this one. Blitz looking for another touch, trying to find the bump. Is a Chad. He's going to send it off to the side. This ball loading. Is a Chad. May have caught the defense off guard. It could be an opportunity. Blitz racing back. It's going to go in. Is a Chad. It's going to end. And Ember with a reverse sweep to move on.
Is a Chad doing Is a Chad things. Big body clear. And actually forces Blitz to double tap that into his own net just by creating that pressure that Is a Chad does so well, and having to make them make that play. And Ember able to get that reverse sweep, keep their season alive. Now you earned yourself a date with the undefeated Gladiators. You
Wow.
played well in the play-in series. You looked really good. Now you got to play out of your mind. They can't have a slow start like they did in this one tonight against those Gladiators, because that's going to be a real tough series to try to pull back if you go down 2 games, let alone 3, and try to pull off another reverse sweep.
Yeah, and I mean, what an impressive performance from Ember right there, able to battle back. And speed, like we mentioned, it's not easy to do when you have to battle against a divisional opponent. You beat them twice, and usually the third time, it's so difficult to get that third win. And Ember, I mean, they did it in spectacular fashion with that reverse sweep.
Yeah, they did. We've seen it. I don't know how many times I can recall. I can't recall the exact teams, but I remember talking about it, casting it, watching it. You hear about divisional rivals meet up in the playoffs. Oh, this team, they're a higher seed or whatever the case may be. They beat them twice already this season. They just beat them a couple weeks ago at the end of the season, and then you go and see the team that lost both times in the regular season come out on top. So this is really hard to do. Beat a team 3 times in the season without losing.
Yeah, definitely so. And well, Ember, they pulled it off. And as Speed mentioned, they have got a date with the 18-0 Gladiators in the first round. We wish them the best of luck and congratulate Ember and Minotaurs. Minotaurs, a great season from them, unable to quite make it out of that intense playing tournament. But Ember, happy to move on. And speaking of moving on, that's what we're going to have to do in just a few minutes here. We are going to be heading to the Challenger League, where we've got another team that is no stranger to the reverse sweep. Venom, they just pulled it off on Wednesday, and now they're going to be taking on the race here. Winner is going to move on to face Orbit in round 1. That one is going to be coming up in a few minutes, so make sure you stick around, and we'll see you guys in a few.
I still wake at the sound of when the rain hits the ground. 'Cause it sounds just like you when you cried in my room with his kiss on your mouth. How dare you say you're sorry and say I'm still the one? How dare you say you love me with his kiss still on your tongue? I'm not happy, and I'll live happy never.
Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our next matchup of the night. We had just an insane reverse sweep by Ember, taking down the Minotaurs here. I'm Rockerman back in the booth, joined by Mallow. And Mallow, we've got some two more great teams, and one of these teams who was involved in their own reverse sweep on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, and Rocker Man, these two teams, they've been through quite an adventure here, and right now, after what we just saw, I fully expect we're going to see pretty much a very similar matchup, but we're going to see a lot more speed involved with it. I know we had some crazy shenanigans there at the end, but these two teams, I can't wait to see them get it on.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one to watch out for. A couple quick shout outs before we dive into this one. A big shout out to Old Sweeney coming back for the 4 months, and then local Visco lad resubbing for 11 months. We appreciate you guys subbing back on the channel, especially after that great action in that first series. I think they those two teams performed well enough to deserve those subs, so we appreciate it. And shout out to those guys. And Mallow, we got this one. We'll talk a lot more about these teams. We're running a little behind, so we're just gonna dive right into it here. We'll talk about them as we go, but can you give us a quick prediction, and then we can talk more about it as we get on.
Oh man, a prediction for this one. These two teams, the Wraiths, they solely are around Quake. But after I saw their match, I believe it was Wednesday here. Oh man, I could see either one of these teams taking it. I just don't know. I don't know if I can call any sort of like thing here as far as like what it'll be, because we're starting to see some touches right here that you would think would actually go in, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be the Venom team here that's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a back and forth, just like I mentioned on a previous prediction I did. I think this one could potentially be a back and forth with Venom winning in 5.
All right, well, we'll have to see. There are no strangers to Game 5. If you predict Game 5, I'll have to agree with you any which way you shake it, because Venom have been involved in 11 Game 5s this season, so they are no strangers to it. And we'll have to see here as we are getting things underway. We've got both teams out here on the pitch. The race in the red tonight with Eggy D, Jonesy, and Quake, and then Venom on their side with Afro Demon, Yukio, and Mirrorly. So Mallow, we got a lot of great players in this lobby as well. We've seen them performing so far in the play-ins. Both these teams have got their play-in matches completed. Who are you looking forward to watching in this one?
I already mentioned one of them. Oh my goodness, what a pinch! And it looked like an own goal pinch too with Afro Demon. Oh my goodness, Jonesy and Afro Demon pinching that with a screamer down, and Venom get the first score in this one. Oh my goodness, Ruckerman. I was gonna say that as far as the race are concerned, I was gonna say Quake here with maybe a little bit of Eggy D. Eggy D was actually a lot more active in the gaming process, or sorry, in the game that I saw Wednesday, I believe it was, and he was a big part of it. He was on offense, he was on defense, but I would say watch out for Eggy D, because even though they talk as he scores here, as they talk with an assist from Quake here, but that was really a big part of how they were able to get to where they are right now, is this Quake and Eggy D combination here. As far as the Venom team, all three of these players are really good in their own way, and I don't know if I can single one of them out. Yukio, definitely one that has been up there. I think Yukio and Afro Demon, if I'm not mistaken, Rockerman, are two of the top 15 goal scorers in Challenger.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't have the exact stat on hand, but they are definitely both two players that will be up there for sure. And Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here. Something to note here, me being a challenger player, playing against the race 3 times in the regular season, or well, in this season, regular season and postseason. I find it interesting. No specs, otherwise known as Macarios, here in this one. So they're going to go with Jonesy, and that to me is a completely different lineup than what we saw on Monday, where they had Macarios in there over Jonesy. So Jonesy got to step up big. We already saw him clear a demo earlier to lead to a goal, and I think that's for me. That's who the biggest pressure is going to be on. Can Jonesy step up? As here comes Fort, going to send it in, and Venom is going to strike back with another goal.
Oh man, and you know, you talk about Jonesy. Jonesy's actually in the top 15 on assists per game, so he's definitely not one of those that's just being a part of the team, right? He's actually uh, doing things when it comes to the team when he plays. So we could potentially see a lot more passing plays from this race team compared to what we saw previously here. And uh, right now, the race they're kind of rolling and sinking their venom into this.
Yeah, gonna have to see what they can do here as Venom. They find themselves in the early lead, and it's a little bit difficult here. You know, we mentioned it. We saw it in the earlier matchup where Minotaurs unfortunately got reverse swept in that last one. But you know, Mallow, something I've noticed with the playing tournament, I don't have the exact statistic on hand. It would be interesting to note here is hold up a minute there. Really trying to find that touchdown. Eggy with a great save.
My
Oh my
goodness.
goodness. On the goal line, he saves it away, and Quake is going to send it back down. And that ball going to be saved away. Jonesy
No,
going to
that's in.
fire it through. And we'll hold that thought for a bit as the race counter back.
And that push there by Eggy D, that send over to Quake, that's exactly what I'm talking about on the defensive side. Jonesy providing some offense here instead of providing the assist that we were just mentioning. Jonesy getting the goal here, and now we find a tie ball game with a double demo there with 47 seconds remaining.
And merely going to have to get back to that one. This one going to be banging down, and yeah, 2-2 ball game here between these two teams, both fighting for the postseason lives. This one is barely going to be hit away as Jonesy sends it back in a demo. Excuse me, going to open up some space there. Is this one going to be sent away for it? Try to take control. This one pops out of midfield. Wake setting it up. Afro Demon going to find a touch, looking down for a teammate. Ball popped up. Afro Demon just going to fire it on net. It's going to go around the defense. And he's got another one to his name. He sends it home.
Where was the defense there? That was a good attempt there for a demo by Yukio on Jonesy, but Jonesy just didn't budge at the same time though. He just went way wide on that for the defense, and there was no one behind him. And now Venom, they're with the lead here with about the last 10 seconds. Can the Wraiths score here?
Try to find something. This ball is pushed to the corner. Then he popped up high off the ceiling. Merely just going to try to send it down. He does. And Venom going to come through with a solid game 1 victory there, led by Afro Demon with the hat trick.
Yeah, that hat trick there by Afro Demon, doing the work there. But really, he had the entire team with him there. The 3 assists by both Yukio and Merely combined, 2 from Yukio, 1 from Merely, and everything looks almost identical on this board, Rocker Man, other than the actual score. Afro Demon scoring all of them. The Wraiths, they this stat line is actually insane. It's the demos, I think, is the important part to this whole process. The bumps and demos is what I think made the difference here.
Yeah, it looks like the difference, well, it was a little bit of difference in the scoreboard. It didn't actually result in the difference for the races. They led that demo category 5-2 in that game 1, but just not quite enough to break through here. And Mallow, now heading into this game number 2, what do you need to see from the race squad to try to break through, to find this win, to bring this one into a series?
Well, you know, you can demo and bump all you want, right? But they need to be meaningful. You know, you need to make sure you're in position here. But the passes and defense is going to be the biggest thing here for the Wraiths. to keep that ball close, pass it to the middle, pass it to the sides or across. But first off, you got to make sure you get that defense, as I just mentioned. You got to get that defense in line first, otherwise Venom's going to score on you.
Yeah, just a little bit slow on the challenge, and merely that is a guy who is known to play fast, and he's going to slam it into the back of the net. And the race here find themselves down once again, and Venom looking to continue that a great record. They are 11-2 in postseason matches, so you get these guys into the play-in tournament, and they win here, and Fort is going to find another one. Venom now up 2-0.
Oh my goodness, what a save there by Jonesy, but unfortunately, Afro Demon or Fourth, whatever you may know him as, he was able to watch that just bounce right back at him in front of him, and he was able to knock that in. And it's not 100% goal participation, but it doesn't matter as long as you're scoring here, as we see another one. So now everybody on the Venom team are getting goals.
Yeah, and Jones, you just can't find that touch. Eggy D can't find that touch, and it's just panic there from that Wraith squad. And I think really Mela right now down 3-0. I feel like they're really missing that calming presence of Macarios. He just brought a lot to this team.
My
As Yukio,
goodness.
he's gonna fire another one in.
Yeah, when you talk about Challenger League, you're looking at salaries and stuff, and they're pretty close, and you may think that they don't matter much, but sometimes there are players that play and bring a certain presence to your team, and he's definitely one of those that will do that, and that's definitely missing right here, because 4 goals in less than a minute is pretty unheard of in Challenger League, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, it's tough, and like I said, as playing the Wraith as many times as I did, we played this lineup in the last week of the regular season, and it was a night and day difference, let me tell you, between this lineup and the one with Macarios. No hate to Jonesy, but Macarios is definitely a very solid player, and one that the Wraiths are missing right now, and they got to find a
what
way
a
to
pass.
lock down. This has a huge passing play, but it's denied away.
Oh,
As
wait.
Fort is coming right back forward, but Quake gonna find that touch. Here comes Afro, gonna get one more touch as they're continuing to keep this pressure on. And they're rolling a little bit here. Eggy find that 50. Jonesy gonna erase one off the pitch. Yukio sending it down, looking for someone, but only gonna find Quake there, and Afro Demon on his head once more. Another goal for Venom.
Oh boy, this is kind of difficult to watch a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, and it's unfortunate because we both know, Rocker Man, that the Wraiths team is a great team, but looking at this right now, they're definitely not looking like the same team that we saw earlier this week.
Yeah, they're not, and right now they got to find a way. I mean, this team, you got an all-star in Quake, you got a great player in Eggy D, and you got a Nemesis veteran in Jonesy, who's also been great. As here comes another one in the back of the net, and well, I don't even know if my thoughts can save him, as it's 6-0.
Yeah, this is a brutal game. To me right now, if you're the Wraiths, you're going to go ahead and chalk this one out, right? You're going to go ahead and ride this one out, say, okay, let things happen, go happen, but hey, let's try to score some here at the end. Get some what you would hear in other sports as garbage time goals, but I don't think we're going to see that, as we're seeing Merely score another one. So we got a hat trick from Afro Demon, Merely with 2 and Yukio with 2 here, and we haven't even been halfway through this game.
Yeah, no, it's a 7-goal count already, and I mean, Venom is just running up the absolute score right now. So, I mean, they're just gonna keep doing what they're doing here, and for Race here, all you can really do is try to stop some sort of scoring here, as this one is just starting to turn into a runaway train here, as still looking to find something here, as we're just past halfway right now. This ball dropping down, Afro on a touch in the corner, and Mela, really, like you mentioned, you said you just gotta chalk it up here, and for the race's sake, you just gotta try to find, if you can just find one here, that'll just give you some sort of momentum trying to pull back the reverse sweep.
Oh yeah, anything that you can see that shows a weakness in the defense of the Venom team will be a positive and something you can build on, and that's exactly what the Wraiths are gonna want to do here. But you know, with me, I would say that maybe you need to get those get some passing plays, get some booming balls here because maybe because I am seeing it a little bit. The Wraiths or sorry, the Venom team, they're a little aggressive here, and if you can get past them, you may actually shock them with a goal, and if you do that enough, they'll actually back off on the offensive pressure.
Oh no, I completely agree here. That is the way that you can beat this Venom team, who squeaked their way into the postseason on this one, and it was maybe a little controversial, but that's just how the seeding goes. But 7-11 only in the regular season for this Venom team, but right now they are not playing like it. And this one, as they are running it up right now, looking to find one more for the tally, but Jonesy is gonna save it away there. This one popped up the race looking for something. Merely is coming off
Oh,
the ceiling there, trying to find a highlight reel play. And well, I guess when you're up 7-0, you can go for those type of things here, as long as it doesn't hurt you on the other end.
oh,
But
there
it
we
will.
go.
Quake gonna find the passing play, and the race are gonna get on the board.
That's exactly the type of passing play I was talking about, Rocker man. If you're the Wraiths or a Wraiths fan, that's exactly what you want to see. I don't know if the Venom team did that on purpose for the Brazil or something, but either way, um, if you're Venom, you don't want to give any sort of hope to the Wraiths team. Otherwise, you could be in for a potential reverse sweep, as it's already happened twice this play-ins this week. So I definitely would not want to do anything like that if I were the Venom team.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there. And the Venom team, I mean, they should be no strangers to it themselves after they were the ones that pull out the reverse sweep
Oh,
as a nice little passing play comes through once again, and 8-1 there. But yeah, Mallow, I mean, it's to the point where Venom, they know what's happened. They've been, like we mentioned, no strangers to Game 5, 11 on the season here. And for them, if I'm one of them, I don't want to see any more Rocket League. As much as they may love Rocket League, I think that's what Jaeger said. These guys just love Rocket League. They love to play it so much. They're going to Game 5 all the time. Oh my goodness. He's trying for something there. But, you really just got to lock in and close this out if you're Venom. Don't give the race any room to breathe. But, for the race, Mallow, it is going to come down to it. It's got to be a reverse sweep if they're going to want to move on to the playoffs.
yeah, and even though it's one of the toughest things to do, apparently we've seen it a lot this a lot
Yeah.
this season in this playoff slash play-ins. So it could happen, and like you said, I think the Venom team did it also. So um, oh man, the one thing that I'm seeing too is I think Merely is just trying to go for last second TikTok content. I don't know, maybe at this point, but
Respect.
rest in peace TikTok. But the amount of shots that Venom has here versus the Wraiths is crazy. Like the offensive pressure for sure. This does not look like a high seed team here, and I would be concerned if I'm going to face this Venom team if they're playing like this all the time going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, some may remember a Venom team with a very similar path last couple seasons ago, way back in season 5. The Venom ran all the way through the play-in tournament. I think that might have been, I believe that was the first ever season with a play-in tournament. That Venom team ran all the way through the play-in tournament from way downtown and came through and won as the 8th seed, won the entire championship. So things can happen. And if you're team in the play-ins, you have that momentum, you can bring it back.
Oh,
But the race, try to get it.
oh
It's
no.
just off there. No, they can't finish it. Oh, they needed that one. They needed it badly here as the pressure is squarely on the race shoulder. And this one going towards the net, and after a demon sending it in, they're keeping the scoring going.
Oh man. I really thought that Jonesy may have gotten a piece of that, but it does not look like that. You know how some of the some of the touches go sometimes. They feel like ghost touches, and um, with what we're seeing tonight, and at least in that first 30 seconds there for the Wraiths, they were starting to do what I wanted to see them to do, which was be more aggressive, be faster, because they weren't able to do anything with it. But the Venom team was having trouble with it, and right now, with this pressure, they just need to continue, go faster, and who knows, maybe they were just doing all that for content.
Well, for their sake, I hope it was all for content, as they're going to need to provide some if they're going to want to pull this reverse sweep back. As they find themselves now down in a game number 3. They find something here. Quake on the dribble. Going to flick this one off the backboard merely. Going to find that touch in the demo. Going to come through there merely. Throwing it away. Jonesy going to push this one towards the net. It's a little bit of a dangerous ball. Afro trying to get up to it. He's going to find a nice touch. We get that one away. Full doink attempt from Eggy D. Trying to send it off. Afro gonna find that touch. Eggy and look to give chase. Trying to find his teammate. Just can't find that touch. Yukio off the backboard. Here comes the shot attempt, but merely just a little bit off target. His attempt there. It's now Eggy. Looking for that one. He can't even make the touch there, but the race, no boost to work with. It's just Quake. He's got to get up for this ball. He can't touch it, but fortunately for him, neither can Venom. This one sent off to the side of the race, looking for anything. Trying to get out of their zone. Yukio finally going to bring it down. Tried to get it by 1, but Quake. All-Star not to be faked out there. This one sent back in. Really? Taking control, bringing this one high off the backboard. Quake. Going to send it out, but Afro, he's going to be able to keep it in. Looking to pass it down towards the middle. Here comes Yukio
no.
Taka to send it in, and Venom, they just keep the passing plays rolling.
Yeah, Jonesy was just waiting for that ball to land on his car there, and I'm not sure what he was planning to do, but you can't wait that long in Challenger League here. It's a lot faster pace, and especially with this Venom team, and we've seen how aggressive they've been. So I'm not sure what the plan was there from Jonesy, but at any rate, a little demo from Jonesy there, so maybe they'll get a little bit of a pressure here, get a score, and cut this lead in half. in half.
Yeah, they're gonna need to here, as the Venom just seem to be controlling the ball at all times here. Wraiths are just too slow, too scared to challenge on these balls here. This Quake, not a lot of boost to work with. Gonna find the Musty out of the midfield, but Yukio all over that one. And Venom continuing on with their speed. This ball popped up. That one shot towards the net and barely is going to fire another one home.
I don't like calling things early here, but I kind of want to do it for content, just for Caster Cursed.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, but you know, the Venom team, they are absolutely overwhelming this Wraiths team, and it's not looking good for the Wraiths if they want to try and come back and win this game 3. Game 3? Yeah, game 3 here.
Yeah, it's not looking too ideal for them. I mean, they're gonna have to try, and I've played these guys a couple times this season, and I can tell you they have the potential to do so, but they gotta find it. They gotta find it quickly here. A minute 24. This is your season on the line here. If you're the Race, you don't want to let it go out like this in a sweep against the other team. At least get one on the board, one in your name here. If you're able to. Oh my goodness, that's a shot fired on net. What a crazy attempt there by Merely. And yeah, that guy, known that guy for a long time. He can definitely provide the attempts here. Is this one gonna be shot on net? And wait a minute, Eggy D says, don't count us out just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Eggy D got to put it on his shoulders if he has to. There's a lot of talk about Quake carrying that team, but I tell you, Eggy D is it has been very more well-rounded when it comes to the Wraiths, because I've seen a lot more in Eggy D than I have Jonesy. Oh wait. My good, no wait, Rocker Man, what's happening?
What is happening right here? Well, the race seemed to be happening, and Afro Demon not hitting the ball, that did happen as well. And Eggy D, he does hit the ball under the back of the net. And 57 seconds left. Not call it a comeback quite yet here, but the Race, once again, you need to find something. They double commit on the kickoff. This ball dropping down merely. Gonna find a touch, looking for another one, gonna get it actually by his teammate. This could be a big opportunity. It's
No
sent
way.
towards the backboard. No way you find that read. Oh my goodness. Quake the mad lad. He tried for it though. As that one, oh, a double commit gonna come through. Could cost him here. This one off the backboard. This guy,
Oh
he
my
will touch it.
goodness.
Jonesy, oh, he almost saves it away, but Merely, he's gonna
Oh
send it in.
man. Holy cow. I thought Merely had that from the very beginning there, but what a save there by Jonesy. Jonesy has had at least 2 different saves now that have been absolute I'm trying to come up with the best family friendly word for this, but the most well Merely comes up with another goal here as I'm trying to come up with a word, but with the most the clinching ones, like you're gritting your teeth. It's the and he isn't able to, get the assistance or able to send it out where he needs to, and it's depressing in a way, at least for me. I understand that if I was him, but Merely's just going off.
Yeah, he's gonna go off there. He's gonna get another goal. Yukio Takada with the playmaker, and that is gonna all but do it for the race. They gave it a valiant effort though here in game number 3. He tried to pull back that reverse, or well, at least this game 3, but not quite gonna happen. And well, the Venom's streak of games here is
what the-
Venom maybe faking yet again there as they did in the last kickoff. But the Venom streak of game 5s is going to come to an end here in this one, as well. Reese going to get one more for the road. Eggy D going to find it, but I think that's just a tally to the board here. Not really going to be consequential in the final result here, Mallow, as Venom. I mean, an impressive 2-match performance from them. A reverse sweep into a sweep here, and they're going to move on to the playoffs next week.
Yeah, you can refer to that as trash time goals, if you will, Rocker Man. You've heard that in other leagues with the stats, but right now, oh man, yeah, that Wraiths team, they were leaving in a hurry there, and but yeah, congratulations to Venom. They definitely did not look like a 10 seed in that game, or that series, I should say. Wraiths scoring, what was that, like 5 overall because or no, 7 overall because
I think it's 6.
of game 2, something like that.
6 or 7.
Yeah, 7 overall, something like that. But the Venom team, I don't know if they have started playing a whole bunch of Rocket League lately here, but they looked really good in that. And if you're a Venom fan, you're going to be happy about that, because I know on my end here, just watching what they did, they showed me that they were not a 10 seed.
Yeah, they definitely did not look like a 10 seed in that one, as they are going to lock up a win there, going to move on. And we'll take a quick look. We didn't get to do this earlier, but we got a quick second to take a look, Mallow, at the Challenger League playoff bracket. So we can take a look one more time at that here. And, Mallow, you can see Venom going to be moving on, going to take home that 8th seed and get a good matchup against Orbit.
Yeah, that Orbit team, you and I are both very familiar with that Orbit team. You being the GM and being me being a part of that org last season, and of course, the full reset that changed a lot of stuff, which is why we're seeing a lot of what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing a lot of different matchups than we would typically see, just because we are seeing the full reset, which is at the same time very unpredictable when it comes to who's going to go where, because you don't know. Just like what happened here, this 10 seeded Venom going up and beating the race the way that they just did, and looking at the rest of this: Griffins, Drakes, Samurai, Bishops, Snowstorm, Ascension, which your team there, Snowstorm, gonna be a very that's gonna be a very good matchup in itself. I can't wait to see the rest of this playoff. especially not just Challenger League, but all the leagues. But Challenger, I think it's going to be one of the spicier ones.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and we'll be seeing some more Challenger League action next week. So stay tuned for that. But with that being said, we got to move on. We got to get set up for our next and final play-in matchup of season 11. It is Whiteout taking on Kings. The winner is going to move on. Loser is going to go home. So make sure you stick around, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice tracing on my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us so. Maybe every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold.
everybody. Welcome back to our final matchup of the night and the final matchup of the Season 11 play-in tournaments. Mallow, back in the booth, joined by you. Mallow, we just had the sweep, but we got one more banger to close out the night.
Oh, we do, and these guys are eager to get going, Rocker Man, and I don't blame them. I'm eager to get going, and I'm looking at these lineups, and it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it is going to be a good one. We'll take a quick little trip over to the playoff bracket before we get him joined on in. Mallow, what can you tell us about the Rival League play-ins and playoffs so far?
Yeah, we're looking at this. The Kings, winning this one here, and getting to today, facing the Knights. The Knights losing there, so they're basically packing up, going home. But Vortex beating the Whiteout here. Vortex going to go and face the Hydra team, a very tough Hydra team, I might add. Looking at that team, I'm glad I am not playing that team because that is a very scary team. But looking at the rest of it, whoever is going to win here is going to face Distortion at the number 1 seed. I'm sure. I'm sure we're seeing some very, very happy GMs here and some nervous ones too. But Blaze and Arrival, facing up 4 and 5 seed, Galaxy and Bearcats at 3 and 6. As I mentioned, Hydra and Vortex as well. So these two, um, they gotta lock in. They gotta go. And so Whiteout Kings. I'm going to go with the Kings here, Rockerman. I know you're going to ask me that question. And so I'm going to go with the Kings because they have Juicy Leaf, and he's been a top 15 player in Rival here, which is surprising considering he's in the play-ins and not the playoffs. But sometimes, things just, the dominoes, the way they fall sometimes, it's just how it goes. So I completely know that and understand that myself. But yeah, Juicy Leaf, you're going to have to watch out for him on the Kings.
Oh, we're going to have to see here as that's a good person to watch out for on that side as we're going to get things underway here in the play-in tournament, the last games before we head into the playoffs here. We got Whiteout taking on Kings. Whiteout in the blue tonight with Cynthia, Dissa, and T-Jazz. And then on the Kings side, we have Frihole, Shun, and Juicy Leaf. So a lot of great players here, and I mean, honestly, Mallow, all these teams here is hold up. Dissa is sending that one in, looking for the redirect. Oh, he can't find it. The net was open. He's trying to hit the clip there. But I was gonna say, Mallow, is there are a lot of great players on this pitch with the Rival League boundaries increasing. Just so many great players.
Oh yeah, not only increasing but compressed too. So you don't really have as big of a spread as you usually would, which definitely can make things more competitive. On top of that, with this full reset we had done this season, which I've been super excited and super happy about the results of it. It's been a really, really good season and competitive season at that.
Yeah, it really has. All these teams have been competing since the beginning, and it all comes down to this. And my favorite part about the play-in tournament is you get teams here that are close in record, not super close, but close enough here. Whiteout with a 10-8 regular season record, and the Kings at 8-10. And now the fun thing about the play-in tournament is this is when you got to perform here, and that's what could be shot towards it. Oh my goodness, it's saved on the goal line. What a play right there! But really, it's all about how you play right here, right now. Is right now it's Whiteout trying to put some pressure on him.
Yeah, it is, and I feel like, oh my goodness, what a save there by Juicy Leaf. Oh man, and that's exactly what you would expect to see right now. These guys are going to play their hearts out and make sure that they can go to this next level because this is it for them. And oh no, TJZ cannot do anything with that ball there, but yeah, it's going to go back and forth. It's going to be intense, and we've already seen it here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of shots coming in early. Both these teams trying to find something here as the pressure is most definitely on for these two teams trying to advance out. This one shot towards the net, and this one finally going to go in. Dissa, he sends it down and in.
Dissa gets a little Bardowski here. A little bit of a demo pass by Cynthia, which very interesting. It looked like it may have been pinched with the demo there. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes, but Dissa getting that first goal. 8 shots by the wideout team right now with about 2:20 remaining. And I see some demos coming in. I fully expect that to continue here, Rocker Man.
Yeah, the demos definitely could play a big part here as Whiteout, they are going to strike first and looking to get a little get back. Here's a shot, T-Jazz. Going to make a nice save. Able to get that one away. But yeah, this one, Whiteout, they are trying to turn things around. Earlier in the regular season, the Kings, they were the ones that won 3-1 in that regular season matchup. The only one between these two teams. So Whiteout trying to bring it back here as this one fired towards the net. Dissa gonna make a touch, but here comes Shun looking over for Frihole, and we saw Shun come up huge in that play-in match on Wednesday. Able to take down the defending champions, the Knights, and that one, you know, he's definitely, you know, besides Juicy Leaf, he's probably one of the guys that you really gotta watch out for if you're on the Kings here. As right now, Mallow, the Kings, they are going to need one of those two guys to step up as they find themselves down by 1 with only a minute 10 remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you definitely need some help if you're Juicy Leaf right now. Doing a lot on defense, but you know the team in general not doing a lot on offense yet. But as we're looking at the demos and the attempted passes and touches here, was not the case. But yeah, Shun, oh, I thought he was going to get demoed there. That was so close. Good block there by Cynthia. But, you know, looking right here for sure, yeah, you got to see everyone come out right here and make their I can't even think of the words right now because that save there was so good. But you got to come out here and make yourself known and make yourself go and do the things that you need to do here because you have less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to try to find something, but it's going to be Whiteout who are going to be the ones finding something. T-Jazz is going to send it in and going to seal the deal more than likely here in game 1.
Yeah, I with 5 seconds, I would definitely say that's probably game 1 in the bag there. The whiteout team, they were just relentless on offense here, Rocker Man. They were pushing it hard. They were pushing it often as they get another goal here at the end. You know, as I mentioned in trash time stats, and TJZ getting that ball in, the Kings team unable to defend that ball, and here we are 3-0 game 1. 7 saves by the Kings, but they just aren't doing anything on offense. Sorry, defense is okay, but obviously they're still getting wrecked on that because they were getting scored on. But the saves, they're doing something. They just need to go forward on offense. Maybe get some passing plays across the field, and on the defense, you know, we gotta see equal opportunity defensive gameplay, right? So we need to see everything from everyone.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, Whiteout put up 14 shots in that game number 1, so they were no strangers to firing it in. If you're the Kings here, you got to try to find a way to not get that big of a shot differential. 14-4 is not going to win you too many games if you're in that 4 slot there. So for the Kings, you're going to have to see if the offense will come back in game number 2, but that is why you play the full game series here. So we'll get it underway here for the kickoff in game number 2. And the Kings starting this one out towards the Whiteout net. T-Jazz make a touch as this one pops high off the corner. Frihole we get up to that one, but he's actually not quite going to make that touch. And Dissa is going to send this one down towards the net. The ball can be popped up high. Be pushed off to the corner here and drop down. Ball taking control on the sidewall here. Dissa is up, looking to leave it for his teammate. Dissa could be denied away shoot. Not interested in letting that one happen there as he's able to get up to it. Juicy Leaf looking to take control of this ball in the midfield. Can we drop down Dissa? Off to the corner. This ball is going to pop up high. Touch comes through. Friole gets it up high, but a waiting Cynthia is there. And now Dissa trying to come through for the shot, but they're not quite going to find that one. As Whiteout again, throw this one towards the backboard. Friole going to find the touch, but that one is only going to drop down to the side as Whiteout is still trying to pinch it out. The Kings going to clear it away, but only to a waiting Cynthia. He's going to take it up, trying to stay with it. Going to find that touch off the ceiling. Here comes Dissa for a touch. Here we get that one out as Shun. That's down off the backboard. T-Jazz going to get that one and clear it away. Dissa now sending it back into the zone. And right now, Mello, so far what we're seeing here is Whiteout looking for a shot there. It's just off the post. They're not going to find its way. But Whiteout is still continuing on the offensive end. And Dissa trying to find the dunk, but it's not going to go. And Whiteout still trying to press the attack.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that offensive pressure still by Whiteout. And you know, there is the whole volume shooting versus non-volume shooting approach here. And it looked like Kings was doing that approach previously, which was the non-volume shooting. But if you're going to do that, you got to make sure that your shots actually count. And we didn't see that here in game one, but right now, in game two, same thing. They haven't got a single shot on net yet, and they're on the defensive onslaught as TJZ is able to sneak that one in.
Yeah, T-Jazz, he's coming up big. We've seen him come up with a couple big shots here as Whiteout is continuing their offensive ways here. And yeah, as you mentioned here, for the Kings, you got to look for that quality. They're trying to find the quality, but oh my gosh, that one could be saved away.
Oh man,
close attempt there again for Whiteout, but Whiteout has definitely hit the quantity. He's looking for a bump there for Friole. He's able to dodge it and clear it away. As this one once again fired back in, it's off the post there. Follow-up attempt, T-Jazz blocking it straight down for Friole. He's gonna get a touch to the corner, but T-Jazz sends it right back in, and right now Whiteout is continuing to put on this onslaught. The Kings just cannot find a way out of their zone. This one dropping back in, Dissa. Taking that one, gonna pop it over one, Shun. Finally trying to take it out of the zone. Can he stay with it? He's gonna find something, but follow-up comes through now. T-Jazz out to the side here. Juicy Leaf trying to send it back in. Cynthia push it off to the corner, and this ball popped up. Gonna be sent the long way right back into the King's zone. Block attempt coming through. Whiteout still looking to keep this pressure on. It's Juicy gonna send it towards the net. That one could be just knocked off to the side there. Good control by Whiteout, able to get it away, but still not been able to find the offense on the other side of things. Shun trying to get it down, looking for his teammate Juicy. Send it off to the side. T-Jazz with some good control. Friole gonna get it up, dodging a demo 2 off the backboard. This ball floating up, but Dissa all over that one, looking to find a dunk. That's only gonna go so far in the corner. As that one sent away, a big miss could lead to something here. Kings just kind of fired off the backboard. Follow-up attempt. Here goes Friole, but on the goal line, it's T-Jazz once again shooting now, trying to fire it. It's off the post there. Not quite gonna go. And that one, Mallow, that was the best opportunity for the Kings yet, but not meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It really was, and the aggression here by the Kings aren't enough here, in my opinion. I feel like they need to be more aggressive, be faster on this ball, pass this ball a little bit more as they just did there. They just need to find something to interrupt the defense if they're not going to shoot as much, because you can't shoot as little as that and not do anything about that defense.
Yeah, no, for sure here. You gotta get your shots on. They have to be very high quality shots if you're only gonna get a limited amount of them. Right now the Kings need to find one of those quality opportunities. This one's sent down. Juicy is trying to get to it, but it's just gonna be pushed off to the side. A big miss comes from 2 players there. Only 30 seconds now left for the Kings to try to send us to overtime. Juicy sends it down, but T-Jazz hanging this one up. An attempt, trying to drop it down. Dissa almost got up to that one. Not quite gonna find it this time. Juicy out of the middle looking for Shun. Trying to find this one. Shun can't quite connect. Dissa take a touch off the wall. Oh my goodness, Dissa What is that angle?
Oh man, I think Shun did a couple of little bad flips there, and unfortunately that cost them there. But Dissa with that insane touch there off of the wall, and this game too, I think it's pretty much wraps.
Yeah, it might be wraps here, especially after you get that sort of shot hit on you right there. That was an insane angle from Dissa, and it's going to secure Whiteout that game 2 victory here and put themselves one win away from moving on to the playoffs here for a date with Distortion. As this one going to still be up, the Kings looking for one more consolation. Dissa looking to keep it up, trying to push it down. He does, and Whiteout here going to take another win in the books. Mallow, a great performance by them, able to get that win, and now they put themselves one more away from moving on.
Yeah, that defense of Whiteout has been fantastic here. Um, if you're not going against a team that's gonna do some volume shooting and you're able to do the saves that you're able to do there, get some good clears as they're doing, it's understandable why they were able to win those games. But now, if you're the Kings, you got to figure out something here because you're on match point. You need to change what you're doing here overall. I don't know what they think they need to do here, but they need to do something that will involve more interruptions, more passing plays, and potentially just be a nuisance. At this point, you're down in the series 2-0. You got to go all out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got nothing to lose right now if you're the Kings here, and you got everything to gain. And for their sake, they're going to try to gain one more win in this one. And another life
goodness.
is how I want to save. Going to come through, can't quite break through. And Cynthia with a massive flick there. Juicy Leaf, not a lot of boost to make the clear out.
Oh no.
This ball dangerous. Here comes T-Chaz and Juicy again on the goal line. Another great save by a great player right there. Cynthia trying to get to this one. It's going to be pushed off to the side. June going to take control, trying to fire it in. Dissa, he's going to block it. He's been great in this series, finding some crazy redirects in this one, finding some angles, and that's the quality of players we have as Juicy Leap. Can he try to find an angle? He's trying to drop it down, looking for a teammate, but a double commit is going to come through the Kings. Two players on the same idea on that one, both ready for the highlight play. They're not going to find it. Freehole, watch out. He's trying to get to this one. He's going to find a stop. Here comes Cynthia. Freehole, great block. Able to get it away. And about a minute in, Mallow, we've had a couple of great opportunities, including some passing plays like that, but not quite going to find anyone putting one in the back of the net yet.
Yeah, no, this is the Kings are definitely looking a lot better here on offense as they are keeping up with the shot count that the Whiteout is putting out here with 3 apiece. But they're still kind of in a hole really either way. They just need to go ahead and continue doing what they're doing those pass plays like that right there. Oh no, that's not a good touch. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's in. Shun getting that goal, and I think for the first time for this series, the Kings are leading.
Yeah, the Kings finally gonna find some sort of momentum heading their way after a rough game 1 and 2, but a goal there is gonna open up some space as they take the early lead here in game number 3. And now, when we see the Kings build on it, that is the question here. Juicy Leaf, we get to that one, but Cynthia, not to be faked by the flip reset attempt. Ole, gonna get it by 1, gonna get it by 2. Actually, Dissa has to get back to that one. Juicy to pop it up, but Dissa, he finds another touch. Dissa trying to go again. He's gonna find it. Shun taking control there. Gonna take it to the corner. He's gonna pop it out over the top of one. Gonna find another one. Cynthia gonna find that block the ball, pop it up high. Opportunity, but a miss comes through from Dissa. Uncharacteristic from what we've seen so far in the series. Freehole, the Juicy Leaf. Freehole again. This ball coming down. Dissa trying to get to it. He does. Able to make that touch. This one popped up high. The Kings here is approaching halfway. Mel, the Kings just so much more aggressive and able to find some good touches. Even Whiteout a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was that was said or done there, but they are finally definitely being a lot more aggressive than what we saw in the first 2 games here. Now let's for them, for their team, hopefully that doesn't translate into some defensive mishaps, but we haven't seen it so far, Rocker Man. And I was just looking at the chat here. 84% of the points that are in play are on the Kings right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of points there. I think there's almost 13,000 on the line here in this one, so a lot to gamble away here, and we'll have to see if the Kings can get someone to be a big winner here. Cynthia gonna make a great save, and the Kings have really turned on the offense here. And maybe it's one of those things, Mallow, where you got the season on the line, and you're like, well, we got nothing to lose. Let's just send it, kind of like we mentioned, and just go. At this point, that's what made the Kings so good. That's how they were able to take down the Knights. Is they just had that aggressive offensive play, and it worked well for them in that series on Wednesday. Right now, it's working well for them in this game number 3, trying to send us to game 4. Friole, look, the shot one's going to be denied away. A big save. T-Jazz yet again. That guy's been the one constant on defense. As that one is going to go in. Demos are raining down the pitch. It is just an all-out war zone here in game number 3 as we're down to a minute remaining.
The Kings are doing the exact thing the Whiteout team was doing the first 2 games now. Like, they are all over the place. They are demoing, they are pushing, they are being bullies, and that's exactly what you need to be right now if you're...
Oh, boy.
If you need to actually get somewhere in this series, is you need to be aggressive, and that's what they're doing. And now the Whiteout team, they're experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, and this one, and Whiteout may have been caught off. It's Juicy Leaf fired it towards the net. This ball can be saved yet again. That's T-Jazz, one more. And how about another touch there? He's going to push it off the side. T-Jazz, once again, the one big constant on the defensive end, keeping Whiteout in this one. But they're going to have to find one more. And this one floating. Oh. Another touch by T-Jazz, going to clear it away. And Whiteout, can they find something with time remaining? Or will the Kings send us to game 4? This ball, T-Jazz got control, gonna be popped up. The Kings trying to set it down. Here comes Shun, trying to fire it back, but the ball is gonna stay up. Cynthia looking for it, fired it into the corner.
Oh,
the ball is gonna go up there. It's a dangerous one. It's floating in the midfield. But
oh
not
my
gonna
goodness.
come through. Whiteout trying to keep it up. Cynthia gonna pop it high. Juicy Leaf. He's able to keep it up. The Whiteout gonna have to try to look for control. This ball is dropping down, but it's actually gonna stay up. The Kings and Whiteout both keeping this one up as long as they can, but that one didn't fly up. It's just Free back. Dissa, he's trying to race to it. They're still keeping this ball alive. Dissa in the middle, looking for it. The ball is still there, going in the middle. Cynthia somehow is still keeping this ball up here, as it's still in the midfield. Kings trying to set it down. It's off the backboard. It's an opportunity.
No way.
T-Jazz trying to look for it, but the ball still not touching the ground. Cynthia fired it, and finally it does, but that might have been the longest 0-second keep up we've ever seen.
Holy, yeah, that was. And oh my goodness, I honestly thought Whiteout was going to be able to get get that goal in there, because oh man, they had so many opportunities there to get that going, but the Kings, they were denying that. They were making sure we were going to go to a game 4 here, and you know what game 4 entails, Rocker Man. But 13 shots on the Kings. That's exactly kind of the same vibe here. 6 shots on the Whiteout team. It was like a role reversal here.
Yeah, the script was flipped for sure in that game 3, and the Kings making everyone sweat a little bit down in the wire. But we'll be heading into game number 4, the good old Forbidden Temple. And yeah, the Kings, if they can keep that same momentum, Mallow, that they did in that one, like you mentioned, 13-6 in the shot department. So really, I mean, it was just the antithesis of the first 2 games there. The Kings found their way to find that offense and put Whiteout in a little bit of a corner, which we saw Vortex do on Monday, and that's how Vortex was able to win and keep that 7 seed. But Mallow, heading into game number 4 here, Forbidden Temple, the pressure is once again on the Kings to try to push it back and see if they can pull a reverse sweep. Oh my goodness, not even 1 second in. Free Forbidden Temple chaos. It's starting early.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we're starting off the bat with the Forbidden Temple chaos, because here we are. We only got 1 second off the clock, Rocker Man, and there's already a goal.
Hey, You're the Kings. They're on pace for a lot of goals. I'll say right there. I don't know. I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot of goals that they'd be on pace for. But unfortunately, it looks like the pace for them has died down. As we might expect, but that is exactly the way you want to start game one, especially when you're the team here that needs a reverse sweep it. Oh my goodness, Team Jazz getting necky.
Oh man, TJZ, what a shot there, getting that little flip reset too. That defense of Kings, they just sat there for that. I'm not quite sure why no one went up for that. You know, being a novice myself, you know, that's one thing that I have to try and tell myself to do is go up for that type of touch. You know, if I potentially see it. But here in Rival, that should be like an automatic thing, and I'm surprised we didn't see that.
Yeah, the Kings definitely left the backboard defense something to be desired right there, because they were not able to get to that one. Is oh my goodness, look at this one. Oh my goodness, dropping it down and dropping it in. Dissa and Whiteout after her immediate goal, they are clipping back.
Oh, that bump by Cynthia there. I don't know if you caught it on the bottom there, but Cynthia bumped someone. I think it may, I don't know who it was there, but Cynthia bumped someone and sent them flying. One of the two people under the goal, and it could have been the one that would have been able to defend that ball there. Fantastic bump there by Cynthia. That's the type of thing. Oh my goodness, what just happened?
There was a demo on the back line there. Juicy Leaf is hunting him down and wiping him off, and Shun, nice to get that angle. You know, it seems easy when the net's open like that, but that is a tough angle to hit. Bottom of your car, gotta push it in, and Shun does there. So a great play, Mallow, and I mean, we're not even a minute in. We've already got 4 goals from both these two teams, so we could be in for a high-scoring one. Is this one fired just a little bit wide?
Oh yeah, we are, and this is a back and forth action I wanted to see here, and we're finally seeing it. What I would fully expect from the rival league is that is definitely almost on target. I thought it was on target. I thought it would have been on target any other time of the year, but apparently it wasn't. Cynthia wasn't able to get that one there. But you know, these two teams right now, I know if I'm the GM of the Kings, which, you know, that's Speed, which we saw on earlier, he's definitely nervous right now.
Yeah, he was telling us earlier that he was gonna sit back, enjoy some pizza, and watch his team try to advance here. But he said the last one definitely made him nervous going to Game 5, and I know right now it got to be a little bit nervous here for this King squad. They find themselves down here in this one. Firing one towards that. T-Jazz gonna make the touch. They're firing this one towards the backboard, looking for the double tap. Can't find it this time. Is this gonna be faked out in the midfield? This one turning back around. Cynthia and T-Jazz both gonna get to it. It's T-Jazz once again making a touch. A little great pass down, but Shun is gonna be denied away as Dissa is gonna send it down. Dissa trying to get to it again. This ball popped up. Cynthia and make a touch as the Kings looking to advance here. Off the ceiling, this ball dropping down. Gonna be popped up. Dangerous ball. Dissa gonna be denied. Cynthia able to keep it up. Frijole jumping for that one. Trying to get to it. This one, dangerous ball. Shun got to make the touch. He does, but that one, a great read by Dissa. Shun now looking to run away from the defense there from the attackers. This one fired towards that Frijole. Gonna make a touch, throwing it off the side. Dissa trying to find that read, but can't. As Juicy sends it off to the side. Redirect attempt. Oh my goodness, finding that touch. And Mel, these whiteout players are doing everything in their mechanical tanks to throw some shots on the net.
Oh, they really are, Rocker Man. And looking right now, though, even with that, they're still behind on the shot count. Kings have been doing a lot of offensive pressure here, but it doesn't matter because Cynthia here getting that screamer of a pass by Dissa into the middle. What a pass there by Dissa. Cynthia ready for that, sending it in. No one at the goal there for the Kings team, and a minute 42 remaining. The whiteout, they're closing in on potentially winning this series.
Yeah, they could have won this series. They just got to hold on here. But this one, the Kings trying to get back to their offensive ways. In this one, the Shun dropping this one down. The ball drops in the middle. Juicy.
Oh,
gonna find a touch. trying to get a bump on Cynthia there. This one dropping
Oh,
down.
that might go
towards
in.
the net. The follow comes
Oh.
in. Shun is going to send her in, and the Kings, they answer back.
Oh my goodness, what a touch there by Frijole, and the block there, that dunk. Shun able to go up for that, get this game tied right back up, and oh my goodness, we are in for a a very exciting minute and 15 seconds.
Oh my gosh! And what is happening right here on the goal line? Misses on the net. And Demo's coming through. Forbidden Temple is having its say here in the final play-in tournament match of the season. As
Oh.
Whiteout double commits a dangerous ball here. The Kings trying to answer.
Oh,
Shun
no.
fired it towards the net, but right at the defense, it's T-Jazz, the defensive menace. But this one,
Wait.
it's gotta be Dissa. He does. He comes off the wall, making the save. And Whiteout again firing it towards the net. Shun gotta make a touch. The Kings, their season is in the balance here. That one just gonna go a little bit wide. They gotta find one here. 40 seconds remaining. Next goal might just secure it. Whiteout, if they can get this one, they'll move on to the playoffs. The Kings can get it. They'll be sending us to Champions Field in Game 5. This one popped up. Shun staying with that one. Gonna pick something up there, Juicy. Keeping it in the corner. Not a lot of boost to work with. Trying to drop it down, but that's a tough angle to find with no boost. Is this one a team bump gonna come through? Shun wanted to get that boost there. He's gonna instead get the ball. This one, Frijole shooting
Wait.
it towards the net.
Oh
Frijole
my
finds it.
goodness.
Top bins for Frijole.
What a snipe shot there by Frijole. Just the placement was incredible. Didn't even touch the top of the net there. The crossbar was non-existent apparently, even though it looked like it collided with it. But Frijole tying this up. Wait a minute. Okay, I was about to say. But Frijole being able to get this Kings team into a potential Game 5 here. Yep, we are going to Game 5 again, Rocker Man, tonight. Is this another potential reverse sweep?
It is another potential reverse sweep. They just keep giving us all the content. Much love to these teams battling it out here, as Mallow, we have seen 2 reverse sweeps already here on the night. Well, not on the night, in the play-in tournament. So we're going to have to see if the reverse sweep is possible yet again. But the Kings, really, Mallow, they have just turned it on from what we saw in the first 2 games, and they've really caught Whiteout off guard.
Yeah, I think the aggression that they finally started doing here, they didn't have much on defense, but they didn't need it if they were doing the amount of offensive pressure that they were doing, and that's exactly what they did here. 13 shots compared to the 6 shots that Whiteout had here. 8 saves. That shows how much they had to be in that goal, Whiteout did, for that part of the series, because that oh my goodness. Frijole and Shun here, they were a huge impressive duo there. Juicy Leaf, we talk about him a lot, but those other 2 here, Shun and Frijole, they stepped it up that game, and that's what you would want to see.
Yeah, they stepped it up big, and now it all comes down to this. The season is on the line yet again. What more could be asked for to end off the play-in tournament than one more Game 5, one more reverse sweep attempt? Whiteout looking to survive the reverse sweep, and they're going to start it off with a big goal by Dissa.
Just a little bit of chaos for kickoff goals here. Nice bump there by Cynthia. That literally made that goal happen. Juicy Leaf was going to be able to get back into position, or at least get a good chance of it, and Cynthia didn't allow that.
And it's Whiteout now who are going to start early with the first kickoff goal, looking to survive. Do not want to be the team, another one of the teams that gets reverse swept. We've seen 2 of them so far. Now this one locked up the Kings. They got to keep that pressure going. That's what we saw from them at this once again. Oh my goodness, he is just hitting some crazy redirect angles. That one not quite going to find the net. It's punched into the Kings' cars. They're really putting the pressure on there, but Frijole and company couldn't get it on target. It was a great play there. Passed out. It's going to be 50 in. Cynthia and T-Jazz collide to score.
Oh my goodness. What a touch there by by Cynthia, getting it to the right place where it could just ping pong against like 4 different cars there total, including his own, and getting that goal with that dunk at the end. right now, Whiteout is looking pretty 2-0 here early in this game 5.
Yeah, they're poised, but can they stick it? This one could be an opportunity. The Kings got to try to turn that one. Shun a little bit overzealous to try to get that turn on it. As Whiteout with 2 massive goals to start things off here. They're looking for a third, but Friole has other plans. As wait a minute, we might have a Rule 1 situation. As we have got
I think we do.
2 players locked up, Juicy Leaf and Dissa now in this game number 5. And well, how about that for some chaos, Mallow? We get 2v2 game 5.
Oh my goodness, but uh-oh, that might not be good.
Oh, the net is open. Shun, he's looking for the double demo, trying to find it. But Friole is going to send it off to the side. And yeah, this is an interesting one here, as looks like they may have broken
Wait,
Rule 1
they
here.
broke it?
Well, for some reason, Juicy Leaf and Dissa are out of the Rule 1. So, well, I mean, we're getting some craziness, Mallet, off the play-in tournament.
Yeah, oh my goodness, what a dunk there. Yeah, it's this is a crazy way to end this week in this play-in tournament stream, and you know it's definitely not over for the Kings. They need to do something here. We're seeing a lot more aggression from the Whiteout team here that I guess the Kings aren't able to deal with, and it's showing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we saw. It seems like the team that's had the pressure, I believe it's been roughly around 13 shots to 6. That's a great save to push it away. Roughly 13 to 6 in the shot department. In all these wins, the team with 13 shots ended up winning most of these games, or at least around there. And right now, it's Whiteout for putting on the aggression, trying to find it again. Oh my goodness, and the dunks are going their way. T-Jazz sends it in.
This is Dunk City right now. I'm pretty sure I've seen at least 3 dunks this entire series alone. It's insane what I'm seeing here, and you know it's kind of expected. It is rivalry. You're gonna see some crazy touches like we've seen with Dissa and TJZ here, or T-Jazz I think is what you said earlier. But Cynthia also has had some crazy touches as well. So, you know, it's if you're the Kings right now, you want to see your team push hard and push fast right now, because you're down 3-0 with less than 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, only 1:40 left. They have to find something, and T-Jazz is trying to find the dagger. That one not quite gonna be denied away. And the Kings, like you mentioned, they got to find the speed. That's been the difference. The team that's been getting all these shots has won the game so far in the series. Kings pull off the reverse sweep.
Oh.
The last one's the toughest one. Is this one can be pinched down, but right away, Juicy Leaf sends it down. Only 1:20 remaining. A big demo comes through, but even bigger clear. Send it off to the side, looking for the double. Gonna find it. Dissa. So he's gonna find a touch. This one sent in off the wall. Cynthia with a nice touch. Juicy Leaf trying to get up to it. That one pushed off to the side, and right now Whiteout is just on target. Friole got to get it by the defense, but he's going to be bumped off as we're down to 1 minute remaining now. The Kings, their season on the line, the reverse sweep attempt on the line as well. They really got to get it going here as this one is popped up, ball blocked up. Dissa send it back in. Juicy Leaf off to the side. This one just going to be lofted towards the corner, forcing Friole into an awkward position. Juicy Leaf gonna find a dunk, trying to find it again, but Dissa all over that one. Is Friole trying to get it out, but they can't get to it. Whiteout is just controlling the ball, and that one almost an angle towards the net here. Final 30 seconds now for the Kings here to try to find something. Friole sending it in, but that one is gonna be pinched out. And the Kings right now gonna need a miracle here. Need to find 3 with time on the clock. Shun trying to find a nasty angle. Juicy up to him, trying to drop it in. The ball floating in midfield. Here comes Juicy trying to get to it, but the ball is going the wrong way, and that is gonna do it here. Mallow is that one blocked up. Whiteout here gonna survive the reverse sweep attempt, and gonna survive it. Oh, not quite with a bang. Will they survive in game 5?
Not quite, but the Whiteout, yeah, I know they were very, very, very nervous for that one, because coming back with that sort of game 5 mentality of on because the momentum, right? It's so much against you, and you have to really, really lock in. And the whiteout team did that. And I think, if anything, I think that's a more impressive trait than anything else. Being able to defend off a uh, potential reverse sweep. So congratulations to the whiteout team here. Looking at 11 shots versus 4, just like we talked about before, Rocker Man, the aggression by whiteout there, they need to continue that going into the playoffs here because if I'm not mistaken, who was it that they go against here?
Distortion, the number 1 seed, Distortion.
Distortion, and Distortion. It's been they are a scary team. So you're gonna have to keep up that aggression, or make sure you do your rotations and stuff. But nothing to take away from the Kings though, Rocker Man. They fought and clawed the entire time here, and they were so close to being able to win this, but they just weren't able to in the end.
Yeah, and it was very close. And you got to give hats off to a great season by the Kings, able to battle it out there, taking down the defending champions in the first round, and then forcing another game 5. So they definitely went the distance for some content in there. So hats off to them, and even bigger congratulations to White out there to take the victory in game 5, pushing off the reverse sweep attempt and moving on to the playoffs. So that is just about going to wrap it up for us. Got to give a couple of quick shout outs here. Going to transition to our premium subscriber screen. A big shout out to all the premium subscribers who have supported us thus far this season. Big shout outs to Flame Intruder, Jax, Aiko, Cow, and Street Soul, Challenger Plus subscribers. If you guys are interested, go check out the Discord. You can get access to some insider perks and information if you guys are interested. So go check it out. Go support us. We're doing some big things. Mel's been hard at work at the keyboard. He's been giving us some cool things. I know we just got a cool little thumbnail maker that we did, so that was pretty cool. But Mel, a lot of cool things to look forward to going into next season and going into next week for the playoffs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, next week is going to be super spicy. There's a lot of very good matchups, and I can't wait to see them. And then beyond. I know we're not planning to do the reset next season, Rocker Man, but I really hope we do something similar soon, or sometime down the line, because this has made this season, I think, one of the best seasons ever.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun thus far, and well, we're going to have to see how it includes out. Congratulations to everyone who has advanced to the playoffs. That stuff is going to start next week. We got 4 days of matches for you guys: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure that you guys are tuning in. It's going to be a crazy, crazy time. We're streaming all the playoff matches as we do every season. We're going to get them all for you guys on the stream, so make sure you guys follow and tune in for that. But yeah, it's going to wrap it up for tonight. So we thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys next week.